Hello there, only one Kenobi. It looks a bit pretty bare in the background. I know why. Because Saelt Marae was just there. Those two spaces there on the wall. Let me just pan left so you can see what I mean. Yeah, there's my Return of the Jedi wall in the background, ladies and gentlemen. So I've just taken him off, and obviously I have, for you here, both variants. The barge version, and then on the right-hand side, the standard vintage collection release. So the situation with Saelt Marae is that, firstly, a wonderful figure. I need to rank them all again, my favourite loose figures of the vintage collection, but, you know, he'd be in for a shout. I remember when I first opened him loose, straight after I got the barge, I went to Forbidden Planet hunting for figures that would be good for the barge, and I got him to open, and when you get him in your hands, you realise how good it is. Just have him in that pose there. One big shame is that he doesn't come with a cup. This one does, and there's no way I'm opening that. So anyway, basically, here's the situation, right? I've reviewed him before. I think I reviewed him when I first opened him back in 2019, I guess it was. And, you know, I've done subsequent reviews linked to the barge involving this card and that card. But this is the first time I'm reviewing YAK Face / Saelt Marae. However you want to pronounce him. That's how I pronounce him. Saelt, or it could be Saelt. Oh, I don't know, man. Morae. Anyway, whatever. He looks good there, doesn't he, spinning? Anyway, this is the first time he is in this series of videos, the QuickShot series, and it would be rude not to show you this again, you know? And now I'm filming in HD. Why the hell not, you know? It's got to be done. I've only ever filmed in a lower quality. But what a shame that he doesn't come with a cup, because I think I found an old, like, Lego cup that I put in his hand which fitted him. Like, you know, a wine glass that's from like a Lego wine glass. I don't know where that is now. I think that's in what's that guy, that snaggletooth guy called Zutton. I put it in Zutton's hand, that. But look at those claws, man. He is, if you want to know about his character, an information broker, like almost like a spy almost. But, you know, he's so powerful with information stuff, he even turns it against Jabba, which, you know, you would, wouldn't you? It's like someone stealing for a casino. They're bound to steal for themselves, aren't they? Guy who's skimming the skim from the top as well. I can't remember what he says in Casino, you know, that movie. You know, if he's out to get information or spy on people, he's bound to spy on his boss as well. That's the point, really. There is a classic card back for you. And as I've said before about him, I find it really boggling that they put that name pill, they shifted it to the right like that. Now, I wish somebody hadn't pointed that out, because I never noticed until they did, but I don't like the way they've done that. In fact, you know what? Let's get him open as well. It's such a shame, because there are taller figures in the vintage collection, and I will show you some later. And that's what they've done, you see, with the 6-inch vintage line, which is known as the Black Series, but the Black Series 6-inch, which are in vintage packaging, they're so big or whatever that it's hard for them to do a card in that scale. They've had to shift all the pills over. They've done it with him, and he's the only example of a figure that they've done that for, and I don't like that. Right, so here's an example of what I mean. Look at this guy, that's Chewbacca. And he is a taller guy, probably taller than Saelt Marae, YAK Face. He's not got a name pill that's been shifted to the right, so it didn't need to happen, did it, really? I don't like it when they're not central, really. It's not right, man. There's loads of others, like Grievous. Where are you, General? Over here. Well, he's not as tall because he's sort of crouched, isn't he? But I don't know, man. I just think it was a bit of a dodgy change. Sorry about the camera work. I'm going off piste here, literally. Let's go back to the review. I remember messaging Mr. Steve Evans from Hasbro, and I said, Steve, or did I message him? I tagged him in an Instagram post, and I said, Hasbro, I said, you should have done this. You should have put Saelt Marae in brackets, YAK Face, just like they did with, there he is, this guy. Vintage collection figure, a revitalization of a classic. They gave him his real name, and rightly so, Ponda Barber, but in brackets. Tribute, tip of the hat, Walrus Man, his original name. That's what the vintage collection is all about. Oromarco, another one, there he is, he's up there. If you look at Oromarco, I can't reach him now, I'm afraid, but Oromarco, brackets, Prune Face. I thought that was just a good touch. Continuity out the window. But I think Steve said something like, Well, we've got Saelt Marae on one card, but don't forget, we've got YAK face on this one. But that's not good enough for me. I think it's great that they put YAK face on that. A total tribute to what it was like in The Power of the Force 1. And that's great, that, by the way, that card back. I'll give you a closer look in a minute, but I still think they should have kept it with continuity. What I love about the vintage collection is the fact that they have righted all the wrongs of the past. Like, I can't find where he is. Where's Woof, man? There he is. See, that would have been Clartu back in the 80s, but that's Woof. Clartu's his own, man. There's Clartu down there. So they've sorted things out. Barada, Kithaba, all that and stuff. That's one thing that they've done right. They've rectified any faults from the past, even if it's... where are my two guys? Where are they? There they are, down there. Can you see them? Zuckuss and Forlom. That's just fantastic. It's all part of the history, isn't it? Yeah, what are their real names? So here we go. So here is same figure again inside, except you get a cup with that one. I'll just give you a nice, let's move the figure out of the way. I'll give you a nice close-up look at this card back, which is very nice. Very exclusive. I don't know what his going rate is online, but probably a lot. I'm going to just kill this light a second. Does that make any difference? I'm going to film him with that light off and then with the light on again. I forget about what the significance of having this. It's really good that I've got it. Because he came with the barge, he was exclusive and all that. And this is something very exclusive. A modern vintage collection figure from the post-2018 era, which is unpunched. Now that's unheard of. Because everything comes out factory punched now, but at least they made this unpunched. And what's on the back? How about that? Very nice. Anyway, that's all I can say about that, really. But he is, regardless of what version you've got, be it the YAK face with the coin or the vintage regular, the figure is phenomenal. So if you get the means of getting two or one to open, do it, because you will not be disappointed with that. It's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. If you are new around here, subscribe for sure. And join me for another video. I can't remember who's next, but I'm going to stop for the evening. Oh, I know who's next. It's another Rogue One figure. It's going to be the Shore Trooper, I believe. There you go. How about that? This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. If I let that go, it falls forward and he falls off that pedestal. Should we do it? Out.